So we are actually going to talk about the Lord of the Rings movie that was announced. Crazy surprise. I didn't expect it. And more news that came with it I didn't expect either. But yeah, so the new movie is titled The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. It is directed by Andy Serkis, will star Andy Serkis, and has Peter Jackson returning to produce and will be there every step of the way, is what I guess Zaslav said. And yeah, that's the details we got. It's releasing in 2026.
Also, the screenwriters of the original 3 movies are writing this one.
Okay. Dope. So seems like a dream team, even though I haven't really been like incredibly impressed with Andy Serkis directing. But maybe, I think he's not the wrong person to tap for this, considering he knows how to get the most out of a like motion capture performance. He's like the pioneer of them. And he's the star of it doing Gollum. Like, I think it makes sense, and he knows how to direct. I just don't know if he's like an incredible director yet.
Well, I know the only movie that I've seen is Venom Let There Be Carnage.
Yes.
But the directing wasn't my issue. It was the script, personally.
Sure, but there's nothing in that movie shot-wise that like really is, I'm like, ooh, that was, I don't know.
Sure, but he was the second unit director for the Hobbit movies because Peter Jackson trusted him so much. Now I know that the Hobbit movies are not like our favorite thing. They're certainly not my favorite thing. Some of the first one, I think the first one's pretty good.
Well, sure, and I think the ending of the second one's pretty good too. But,
sure, yeah, but the fact that Peter Jackson like trusted him and like put him on as the second unit like director, like I think
that shows a lot. Yeah.
Now, all of that aside, this is Gollum going to be the main star? He could also just be like a part of it. Like people are going after him.
Now this has to be a prequel, right?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, he died.
He died,
but
he definitely died.
Where do you think this will be set?
I think this is set. I think
he still has the ring. Like,
I think this is set before the Hobbit, potentially.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah. In my mind, it feels like he should have the ring in this movie. But because they are saying Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum, Yeah. It's not just The Hunt for Gollum.
I think this would be like how he got into the like stuck in that cave to begin with, like in the mountain.
Okay.
So I think this is like how he ended up there.
But was he like already disfigured at that point?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was. Okay.
Well, like in Return of the King, you kind of see him over the years just start deteriorating and having the long lifespan due to like the ring's effects.
Right.
But my thing is, I'm not a prequel guy. We already know. Now, there seems like there's two thoughts I have. One, there must be some great idea that they're like, ooh, we got to tell this story. Like, this is a great story. The other one is David Zaslav was like, I want movies from these IPs. Somebody give me one.
That's the one. Yep.
and I'm not like, look, I love Lord of the Rings. I really, really, really hope that this is an actual good story and not
good addition to the universe.
I don't think Andy Serkis is beholden to like some sort of contract that says like, well, you have to do something for Lord of the Rings. Like, hopefully,
no, I don't think so.
Hopefully, it's not that okay, well, they're going to end up doing something with this IP, and we either can be in charge of it or we cannot be in charge of it.
Right.
Or he's like, no, I really want to do this. It seems like a really good story to do. It's going to enhance the rest of the movies. It's going to be its own good story in its own way.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe like we'll get some new characters. It'll be a time period before everything. I don't know, but
yeah,
I'm not excited that much because I just don't like. I'm like, okay, well, we know where he ends up, and I don't know.
The thing that was pitched, like when, like, I don't know if you remember, but like when Amazon bought the TV rights, they were like shipped, the estate was shopping it around to like streaming services, and like Netflix's pitch was like doing a movie for like each of the main characters. Like you'd have an Aragorn and you'd have a Legolas movie, and like they were horrified by that idea. Now, I don't know what's that different for a Hunt for Gollum movie, where he's more of a main character.
The Hobbit's second dinner.
Oh god.
Oh no, was it second breakfast?
Second and 11sies. And but I like along with
potatoes, stew them, mash them, boil them in a stew.
Yeah. But along with this news, we got the announcement that there's more movies coming after this. They're probably not sequels to this movie, but I think they're gonna start putting out more spinoffs because Warner Brothers and David Zaslav is just wanting to like capitalize on this IP that hasn't really been touched since the Hobbit, especially for them. So I don't know. That worries me. I think doing a bunch of spinoffs could really dilute their original franchise like Star Wars kind of has.
I mean, it'll only dilute it if it's not good. If it's good,
sure,
we'll all be happy.
And they got the right team behind it, so we should be optimistic.
We could be optimistic, but the fact is Peter Jackson directed the Hobbits movies, and I don't like them.
But the faults of that, I'm not going to place totally on him because he didn't have the time to set up like what he had set up with the original trilogy. He had to come in last minute because Del Toro dropped out, and so he wasn't able to create his full vision. But yes, he he did fully direct those, and he probably didn't write them either. So
and he did it in a high frame rate, and it didn't look good.
Why did he have to do the high? It was so jarring. I hated it.
If they would have done without the higher frame rate, I probably liked those movies more.
Yeah, did they do it from all three, or?
It definitely started at least in the second one.
Yeah, I noticed it for sure in the second one. Yeah. Yeah, it felt like I was like there in person, which I didn't like. I don't know what it was.
No, high frame rate is not cinematic.
Yeah, it's not at all. So yeah, hopefully he goes back to the 24 frames per second for movies.
Yes.
And let's just stick there. No filmmaker ever should go to 60 frames per second again. So that's where we're at.
Ang Lee, Gemini Man, I'm looking at you.
Oh yeah, he did it too.
That Will Smith movie.
Oh, I know the movie. Yeah, that's rough.
The whole movie is in 60 frames per second.
Yeah, that sucks.
No, I think we should watch it one day.
Why would you want to torture me? Why would you want that?
Well, maybe it's like so bad that it's good.
Okay, maybe. I'll watch it with you if you think it is.